Everyone, this is the fortnightly SIG etcd community meeting. My name's James. I'm one of the SIG etcd chairs. This is our fortnightly session with an open agenda. We have a shared Google Doc. Anyone can propose an agenda item on there. You just need to be subscribed to the etcd dev Google Groups mailing list to have edit access. I'll just put a link in chat for our agenda. There it is. So we're a little bit late. Apologies for that. We'll get underway straight away. First item on the list, I can see we've got update on the SIG etcd leads. Wenjia, I'll pass over to you for that one. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry, I'm sick today, so my voice might sound weird. SCD has been a SIG since 2023, and I had the honor to be the chair of the SIG. I worked in SCD for 7.5 years, and then I've been in this community as different roles. I was a mentee to begin with, and then as contributor and become a maintainer. And I was out for a while and then came back as a chair. It's been a great journey for me. I actually, it wasn't that hard of a decision because right now the community is really thriving with all the contributors and then all the leads in the community. So I'll continue to contribute to the community, but not as a chair. I'm going to step down starting June 2nd, and I don't want to say too much just because I will continue to be here and I'll continue working with everybody. It's just a role change at this point. And at the same time, I send out the email, and some of you might have already seen it. I nominate Siyuan as next chair. She has contributed a lot in the SED community and Kubernetes. Unfortunately, she is on, or it's a good thing. She is on vacation today, so she cannot attend this meeting, but you guys have seen her a lot, and then she will continue joining the meeting going forward. Yep.
Thanks, Wenjia. It's not one of those things you want to be doing all the time. It's kind of a new thing for the SIG to have someone step away on behalf of the rest of the team. I just want to say thanks. Like I've obviously put some comments on the mailing list as well, but yes, it's been a fairly long road for you with the project. So thank you for all of your contributions over the years, and I hope I'll still bump into you at KubeCon or around the place and be able to catch up. And thank you for your nomination of Siyuan. That's a nomination I've absolutely endorsed, and I'll hope we'll still catch up from time to time moving forward.
Yep, we'll do. Thank you.
Okay, team. So if we have a look at our agenda there, we also need to actually let me just pause for a second. Any other thoughts on that, team, before I move forward?
Just another thank you to Wenjia.
Awesome. Okay, team, let's jump forward. I think I have got KubeCon Atlanta coming up, which apparently the main track submissions are already, like, that was May 27th, just a couple of days ago, I think. And then it's June or July? Someone remind me the dates for the maintainer track session.
I believe June 7th is the deadline. So we don't have a lot of time from now. And then also in addition to that, We also need to decide on things like, are we going to apply for ContribFest again, which we discussed doing? So I guess one of the first things is to figure out who's likely to be going.
I think Ivan talked to me about this. I know Suran is going. I think Ivan is interested in submitting the maintainer track as well. Right, Evan, you're here. I shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah. James, are you going to be there?
I'm on the fence on this one, team. I haven't made a decision on that one yet.
Okay. I will be there, but I won't probably not do the maintainer track.
So it sounds like we have a couple of chairs, which is fantastic, in Ivan and Saran. Tech leads, Merrick and or Benjamin. I think they're both online. Yes. Tech leads, tagging in.
So I submitted the for the main track. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. If not, like we'll need to, or if it goes, we'll need to submit a sponsorship for speakers. We'll see. Yeah, it depends whether I get sponsored.
Yeah, I think as a company, we haven't decided who, like Mark and I are wanted to go, but we'll see if we approved.
And there's also the maintainer summit alongside as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid I won't go to the staff.
Okay.
So Benjamin won't be there. So it's possibly Merrick. Okay. And wait. How about you?
I will come to the meeting, but I might join the speaker. So yeah, I will be there. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to have some folks there.
Okay.
Let's absolutely put a submission in. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. So it sounds like if things go well, and obviously there's a lot of ifs there, that we have enough of a slate of people to submit a ContribFest proposal as well. So I need, because I write a lot of these things, I can go ahead and take the lead on writing the proposals, but I need somebody who has lead credentials to work on it for me. Also, throw this out into Slack in the list to catch anybody who's not in this meeting. And we can see who we have. Marek, presumably you can submit it, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, I
Cool.
did for previous years.
Okay. Who else wants to work on drafting proposals?
I can work on that too.
Okay, cool. Okay, we'll work together, and also, like I said, I'll throw this out in the mailing list in Slack to sweep up anybody who's not in this meeting.
Okay, for the maintainer track, also just a heads up that it may be joined with the operator work group,
Oh,
right?
right. Yeah, the operator work group would like to have 5 to 10 minutes out of the maintainer track session, if possible.
But then I think the only thing there is we may need to have the diversity quota. So because if else it's just gonna be 2 speakers, and then one will be the operator and the other is someone else.
Yeah. Well, Sion is apparently expecting to go at this point, so that'll do for us. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to kick off actually getting this organized because we don't actually have a lot of time before it's due. So
that's absolutely right. Thanks, Josh and Ivan. Yep. Okay, so we have a plan, and yeah, thanks, Josh and Ivan, for getting some drafting underway. That's very much appreciated. Jumping forward, team, we're about halfway on time. I'll hand over to Ivan very quickly on the release 3.4 and 3.5 GitHub workflow.
Okay, so very
Cheers.
quickly, we've been working and finalizing the migration from GitHub workflows to ProwJobs. We found an old build so same as with functional, and then Marek told us that we should drop functional tests. We have a release 3.4 and 3.5. So we have an old build target that is basically just building everything for a different architecture. But I feel like this is already covered by our release tests. So I just wanted to see if someone wants to keep this alive or if we just remove them. I can also put in an issue if we want more discussion, but I think this is just like a very quick, like, yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I think we can absolutely remove this, right? We have the Prow build job.
Yeah, I think the two jobs were developed in different, like for different path. Like release was more targeting the scripting for release, and builds were like the old build target is very, very old. Like before, like me, I think I was editing it. But at the end, if they're both building the artifacts, I think there is no like, and for all architectures, like seems like release being a more quantifiable, like and valuable thing, because release builds as same artifacts that we would want to release and validates them for release, assuming that it's not much like work.
Cool. Yeah, I was like feeling the same thing. Then the second, sorry, I have a second bullet point there. So then we have Sijuan develop the measure test grid flakiness job. But I think it will never actually work because we don't have access to create pull requests or issues because we're inside the CNCF GitHub organization and we don't have access to do that. So should we keep that job? Should we clean up? Should we? I'm a little bit confused. Like, what should we do there?
Yeah, I think that was old patch for the problems with GitHub flows not supporting a way to visualize, track, and measure flakiness. At this point, after we like migrated to test grid, it's much easier to just create a bug from a flake. You can just click on the test name and get and file the like with one click the bug. I also like seen some tooling in Kubernetes for flakiness tracking. I haven't investigated, but that's I think I asked some time ago, and I haven't, and they said that they don't have any tools for that. But now maybe apparently they do, or I've seen it. I can send a link to it. So maybe we could like it. Looks like that the tool got replaced, or we can migrate to the new tooling.
Okay, I'll open an issue then to track this.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, there's sort of underlying desires around understanding, visualizing, tracking, how flaky we actually are on workflows. Yeah, let's have a discussion about how we best kind of keep an eye on that. Cool. Okay, I think I'm handing over to Benjamin now, talking about GoGRPC middleware v1 to v2.
Yeah, this is a feature introduced in 2.6. But the problem is, can you open the issue? Yeah, the PR is a PR submitted by Teams. Yeah, this flag, experimental enable gRPC login, is a new flag introduced in release 2.6. It's for debugging purpose. So when it's enabled, you can log out all the request response just for debugging purpose. But the problem is implemented depend on the V1 version, which had already been deprecated. So we need to migrate from V1 to V2. So we need to re-implement this feature using the V2. So the problem we are call for contributor to work on this feature. It's not urgent, but need someone to drive this. Yeah, if anyone interested, please add comment in this PR.
Yeah, so it's basically a choice, right? Are we going to A, deprecate and remove the flag, or just remove the flag, and B,
I don't think we should remove the flag. I add a comment. Can you scroll down this? I added comments on. Yeah, there's no strong reason. The feature had already been shipped with the 3.6. Yeah, we can remove it in 3.7, but I think the feature is useful. I suggest we keep it in 3.7.
Yep. So just to be clear, I wasn't advocating for removal. I was just outlining the options. So on one hand, if there was a lot of folks advocating just to remove it, we could do that, or we need to update to V2. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, most likely we will re-implement it to migrate to the V2.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So the invitation is absolutely there, team. Folks that are curious, please come and have a look at the draft pull request from DIMS, and we can have a look at either re-implementing or discussing removal in the pull request, I think. Thanks, Benjamin. Over to Marek briefly for Google Summer of Code.
Mostly an FYI that it's finally starting, like on June 2nd, the official coding phase of the project begins. Our high-level goal for the project is to bring the one of the Kubernetes strong points, which is caching to etcd project. Over time, Kubernetes has, I think from 1.3, has developed a robust caching layer for etcd, and fact that it's really bound to Kubernetes code base and not reusable and generic is a major blocker for any high scale usage of directly of etcd. So the goal is my goal was to have someone with long commitment. So the project, I think, is 12 weeks to implement something. There were a lot of people interested in working on the cache. Me and Madhav have been reviewing the proposals and picked as we were, I think, currently are the biggest contributors to the Kubernetes Watch Cache implementation. So hopefully we will by the end of the summer we'll have a fully robust and correct cache. Just one thing to prepare for the project, I sent the PR to create a directory. So we have an agreement in community where the final agreement where development should happen, to avoid blocking the work. That's all.
Cool. Thanks for the introduction, Marek. I have this in my queue to have a look over.
One comment. Sorry, one comment. Yeah, this is eventually a library provided by the application to use to talk to the etcd server. So I would like to all the maintainer, all the core member to review this API. once it is finalized and to decided, it's hard to change in the future.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Bogdan.
Quick question, Mark. Do you know, is this gonna replace the Cube cache, or this is addition to that?
So my main goals is to bring the lessons from the Kubernetes cache and allow much faster iteration and experimentation on how to do caching for etcd. Replacing or caching layer in Kubernetes includes huge amount of complicated code that would be a huge effort to develop a drop-in replacement. So we are targeting the feature parity, but not interface parity, because that would slow down the project substantially. For my preference long term, we should slowly move projects into closer together. So at some point we would replace it, but I think that there is no agreement from SIG API machinery to do that, because that's, let's say, very lofty goal that they at this point they don't want to take a risk. So it will take long time before we build enough trust in the cache for them to even consider using it.
Right. Thanks. But the goal, so if let's say if I decide to run it, and let's say Cube runs its cache, right, and then there will be sort of incentive to deploy it alongside the Cube, right? Sort of go to production with it when it's done. Because basically what you're saying is that it's kind of optional to I guess the benefits are those improvements in watch performance and.
So it's currently we are targeting a client library. If you're interested in caching, there is an existing gRPC cache in etcd project, which I think is more closer what you're thinking, a separate.
I'm just thinking more along the lines, let's say when it's done, what will be the, let's say, okay, I want to, say we want to use it, right? Then how should I go, sell it to people to say, okay, this is something we should deploy. Kind of thinking along those lines, but it's okay. I mean, I'll read the proposal.
Yes, high level, we are targeting already existing users, not theoretical users. So we are targeting Cilium and I don't remember, Calico, because they already have problems with cache or with naive caching, and we want to basically give them the same property of scalability that Kubernetes has because of
I see. Okay.
Cache. Because Kubernetes it took 8 years to implement the cache to make it stable and reliable, and we don't want everyone to do it independently.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right, team. Any last thoughts on that one? We're coming up on time.
Yeah. This is the etcd image used by the Kubernetes. Currently there are three, as far as I know, there are three users for the etcd image. One is the kubeadon. When the user uses kubeadon deploy the Kubernetes cluster, it will automatically get the etcd image. The second user is KOps. The third user is the Kubernetes workflow test. So all of the three users use the image built by Kubernetes, not by etcd official released image. So eventually we need to migrate we should drive all the users to use the image published by etcd official, published not by the image built by the Kubernetes. So this is the goal. I draft a doc. So initially, I think we have two steps. The first step to persuade all the users to use the etcd official released image. This is the first big step. But possibly there we may need to make some change. For example, we will release, we need to push the image to the Kubernetes registry. And also we need to persuade all the users to change their usage to use the LC official release image. This is the first big step. The second big step, once the first step is done, we can deprecate the build the stuff from the Kubernetes repo. We can deprecate in first step and remove probably in the 1 year, 2 years later. Yeah, the problem is we need someone to drive these efforts. It's not urgent, but we need someone to drive it, take ownership to drive it.
Thanks, Benjamin. Yep. So if anyone is able to put their hand up to drive that effort, please, probably the best thing to do is place a comment on the open issue. Have a read of the proposal from Benjamin also. Okay, so there we are on time, team. It is 1 minute past. Thanks everyone for coming along to the session. I hope to see you in a fortnight's time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks.
Thank you. See you. Bye.